He's obviously a very talented young man. I think age is irrelevant.
With whom I could compare, it's Ayrton Senna.
Aged just 16, it was announced Max Verstappen would become a record breaker. He'll become the youngest ever Formula One driver.
Welcome at Toro Rosso.
This is the story of Max's record-breaking journey. This never-before-seen footage shows exactly what it takes to reach the top of motorsport as he joins the next generation of Formula One drivers. On August 19th, on Austrian television, the world was stunned as Max Verstappen was announced as a Toro Rosso driver for 2015, when he will become the youngest competitor in the sport's history by almost 2 years.
You always dream to get into F1, and then at 17 you sign a contract. Or 16 I was back then. So yeah, and then when I came home, you know, I looked at my dad and we were both like, we are in F1 next year. That was our dream together, and we made it. I never expected it that it happened that fast. Well, I knew what the reaction would be, you know, too young and not good for F1, but yeah, they just read the news really. They don't really look into the results and how much work there is before you get even there. They just think I'm a 17-year-old guy jumps in an F1 car. But we already had so much work before, you know, to get even a chance to jump in an F1 car. And that's what many people forget. And also the second Verstappen name now. So yeah, I think that will be really cool.
Max is the son of former Formula One driver Jos Verstappen, the most successful Dutch driver of all time, who drove in over 100 Grand Prix.
In '94, started in Formula One with Benetton. Till 2003, the last team was Minardi, but it's now Toro Rosso, so it's a good combination. I must say, when he was young, he was always interested in engines, motorcycles, cars, go-kart, Formula One. He knew everything when he was small.
A few times I went, you know, together with him to the races, and yeah, the paddock was a bit like a playground for me, so I was just running around and having fun. And yeah, especially when you come back like 10 years later after that, you're like, whoa. And then you think about it, like 7 years ago, I was just playing around here for fun. So yeah, it was quite funny.
He was 2.5, he was driving a quad and the electric Jeeps he had, and he was always, you know, going as close to the walls and things, you know, not to hit. But he had a feeling how to drive, and you could see immediately in a go-kart, you could see that he had a lot of talent.
He was not pushing me, he was just, you know, if he wants to drive, I will buy him a go-kart at the end of the day. So it really had to come from myself, because I think at the end, if your dad starts to push you, maybe 5-6 years it will be all right, but at the end, you won't enjoy it anymore. So yeah, luckily it wasn't like that, and it came, you know, completely from myself.
I made many mistakes, I made stupid mistakes. But I think as soon Max got racing, I learned from my mistake. And I tried to get that through to Max, that he didn't make the same mistakes as I did.
When something happens to you, you can get like angry or, you know, aggressive. And I think that's also where my dad really teach me in how to approach the race better than he did. He knew what went wrong in his career, and we tried to do it better now. So he was trying to make a Verstappen 2.0, really.
While he has a famous surname, it was Max's results that made people sit up and take notice.
Excitement and you know, enthusiasm there was around Max, and how competitive he was immediately in Formula 3 was quite sensational.
There was a race at Norrisring, which is a tidy circuit in Nuremberg, and in the wet he was around 1.5 to 2 seconds per lap quicker than anybody else in the field. And there was clear there is really something very, very special.
Such were his results at junior level. Max found himself being approached by several top teams in just his first year away from go-karts.
When he started winning, of course, the others were interested, and I think every Formula One team from the top 5 were interested in him. Then it was clear we want him, and we want him in Formula One as soon as possible.
Well, we got some phone calls, so yeah, I mean, then I got the chance, you know, at the end from Red Bull, and we were already talking since 2010, I think. We got a really good feeling about it, and at the end, yeah, I think it was mainly the feeling what made the decision.
The verdict was clear. Max had the potential to be a once-in-a-generation talent, and age was no factor.
In Max, we've got a really talented youngster. I think age is irrelevant, you know, whether you're Bernie Ecclestone or you know, when I was 30 coming into this job, it's not how old you are, it's how you conduct yourself and what you do. So I think age is just a number.
The age doesn't make any difference. I mean, every person is different. I think it's also the way Max is growing up. He's growing up with racing cars.
You can't say that a driver has to reach a special age to do Formula One. He has reached such a high level from the driving side that I have no doubt that he will do a good job in Formula One. There's absolutely no doubt.
I would definitely say it's a Grand Prix winner, and the rest we will see.
I'm 100% sure that Max can reach the top of the Formula One.
Max's first duty as a driver in waiting for Toro Rosso is a show car run in Rotterdam. It would be his first ever time in a Formula One car, with thousands watching.
I think in 1 hour or so, I will do a run on the bridge with a F1 car, so looking forward to it. My dream was always, you know, to get to F1, and then I think when you get the first time in an F1 car, just where you always worked for. It'll be the first time here in Holland, so yeah, really excited.
But his first time in the car doesn't go to plan.
Yeah, I was just pushing forward really, and I was trying to stop the car, but then, you know, the anti-stall kicks in, so it pushes you forward again. You know, it was too late to take the clutch. I was trying to take it, but I just couldn't get it on time. And I know I hit the barrier with 5 kilometers, I think. But at the end, it was a mistake, but, you know, I think many drivers made that mistake.
It was stupid, but things like that will happen. He's learning from it, and for sure they won't happen again. But it's all about the experience.
He doesn't have long to dwell on it, though, as he heads to meet his new team and his new boss for the first time.
Jealous, Max. Welcome at Toro Rosso.
Max is shown around the factory by team principal Franz Tost.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, welcome.
Many guys came to me and they said they worked even with my dad.
Your father was a fantastic driver.
They still remember you as a small kid walking around, and then now they are working with you. So yeah, it was a special feeling, and you know, when you see so many people working for 2 cars, it's really impressive.
It's always something special if a Formula One driver